Yo, 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 welcome to Die or Pass Level, the gaming podcast that remembers. Player 1 here, hitting start and ready for action. Is that the sound of another token dropping in, I hear? It must be Player 2. He loves gaming, he loves comics even more? Have to talk a little bit about that. But it kind of checks out when you grow up in the woods, right? Say hi to TDK, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. How you doing, man? Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to hide it anymore. It feels good.
This weight is off my shoulders. I mean, it all makes sense. You love the Spider-Man games. You're excited for Wolverine. Everything's checking out.
I don't just love superheroes. I like the medium of storytelling that is comic books, right?
TDK, let's cut right to the chase. I hope you're ready for a glamorous time, TDK, because today we're picking up some games, but we're also equipping some sweet, sweet gear from our guests. If you're ever out in the Sherman Oaks area here in Southern California, you're going to want to drop by her awesome spot, Geeky Glamorous, where they not only supply incredible collectibles, cards, and accessories. What makes this place extra special is the clothing they offer too. Most certainly inspired by its owner's vibe and sense of style, Geeky Glamorous is a centerpiece for the local gaming community, and we have Mandie to thank for that. Welcome to the Die or Pass Level podcast. How are you doing today?
What a nice intro. Thank you. I'm doing very good. Yeah. Just trucking in the perils of being a business owner in this insane economy and trying to squeeze in gaming in any free time that I have.
Okay. Just right off the bat, since you mentioned that, I went on your website. I've actually visited your website prior to meeting you. I'm wearing a shirt that I actually picked up from
I recognize
from
that shirt. Yeah, that Bowser shirt.
How are you selling the best gaming clothes? I'm serious. You have the best selection that I've encountered for such affordable price. I'm always just like, dude, I would buy this for $40 or something. And other places do sell shirts like this for that much. Thank you.
Thank you for buying. We sell new and what I call pre-loved items in the shop. I'm big on keeping things circular. The fashion industry is like one of the most wasteful industries in the entire world, and tons of stuff gets sent to the landfill at the end of the year, which makes me sad. So I rescue is what I say. Try to bring new life to stuff and bring it into the shop. Big part of that is nerdy shirts. And most of the shirts we carry in the store are all featuring video game characters or some anime and Star Wars, but mostly gaming. And so I source them from my own personal collection, or I have private collectors that come to me. Like I have all these shirts, people that worked in the industry, devs, all that kind of stuff.
That is really cool. Wait, let's take it back. Mandie, I want to hear the whole story about how does one start a Geeky Glamorous? It's a very niche store, right? What's the genesis here?
So I love stuff and collecting, I love video games. So, that's kind of the TLDR version. I just have always been a big collector. I get really excited if I'm walking into a store and I find like one or two things that were like gaming related. GameStop does have, some collectibles, but it's displayed in such a way where I feel like it's just like whatever, we just throw it in the store and hopefully people like it. And so I try to have a more thoughtful and curated selection of items and try to have as many gaming IPs represented as possible. I used to work in consumer products and licensing, developing products for brands, and I built a lot of relationships with those companies and brands. So I knew where to source the items before I opened the shop.
Cool. It's like a natural progression. Were you always in the back of your mind like, oh, I'm going to open my own place someday. I'm going to be my own boss and I can do this better than these corporations?
Yes. Yeah. When I was a kid, I played store. That was like what I did as a kid. Sure, I played with toys and, dolls and all that kind of stuff. But really, I was playing store. I was setting up my own clothes in my room and I'd make my mom like come shop my store. And like I would ask for like a cash register for my birthday and stuff like that. Every job that I took growing up in my early adult life, I wanted to kind of give me experience or something of value to help me eventually open the shop.
And it seems like Geeky Glamorous is really like a window into your specific taste.
Yeah.
How representative of just you is this place? Like it's pretty much all the angles and facets of what you're into. Is that right? Or do you have people curate for you?
No, it's just me. Customers will come in and be like, can you start carrying, XYZ thing? And then of course I'm like, okay, if it makes sense for us, absolutely, I will carry those things. We weren't initially going to carry any trading card games. I was like, no games. We're just going to do stuff around gaming. Lifestyle is what I call it, lifestyle products. And people were like, please, 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 can you carry Pokemon cards? And I was like, all right, let's try to be a new Pokemon store in the era of just insane scalping and the market is bonkers. But here we are, which then led to Magic the Gathering and now Riftbound. So, never say never. I got to listen to the customers, right?
Yeah, and it looks like you're even hosting events from Geeky Glamorous. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's like a big piece of opening a store, was to build a community space for different events and gatherings and things like that. So we've done like indie game showcases, we've done Super Smash Brothers tournaments, gallery exhibits with various artists. So a little bit of everything. So
Nice.
The space is available. So if anyone needs a space for a meetup or something, let's talk.
I mean, obviously, I think any new business is tough, right? And with you having such a specific angle of what you're selling and your brand's personality is, I think you were always going to find your people. But then to create a place for them to have their own community, that's really special. That's
like I've had a few people meet within our community and then in our Discord and hung out outside of the store and like outside of GG. And like that was the most validating thing. I was like, this is why I'm doing it.
I heard you mention the name in short, and I'm curious, was it always the game plan for Geeky Glamorous to be GG for short?
Yes, it was.
I love that.
I've had that name since like 2010, back when people had Blogger blogs, if anyone remembers Blogger. I was posting geek fashion that I was finding out in the wild, and I wanted a name that represented both being nerdy and into fashion. And then it also happened to spell GG or good game. So yeah, that was always intentional.
I think I saw it on a post recently and I was just like, mind explode of like, that's so good.
Maybe down the road, I might just change it to like Shop GG or something, because people tend to misspell glamorous a lot. They tend to add that extra U in there, the British way of spelling it. But for now, it's Geeky Glamorous.
I want to go back in time all the way to when you were making those transactions off of that plastic cash register as a kid. And let's talk about your childhood and your childhood gaming experiences. Do you have a game that is the most special to you, a game that it's made an indelible mark on you forever?
Donkey Kong Country, full stop. That is my favorite game of all time. Like changed I feel like a little bit of my trajectory, like in life. I was not really allowed to play video games when I was a kid. My parents were very much like, you need to be outside playing sports, being active. So I had to really, really fight to get a Super Nintendo. And I remember I had to get like straight A's on my report card, work really hard. And then we went to Sears and we got the Donkey Kong bundle in that like banana leaf box. That was like the only game I had. And sometimes I go to Blockbuster and like rent a different game. I could never beat it in time before you had to return it, you know?
That was always the game plan, Mandie.
Those games were so hard too, though. I was like, there's no way I can beat this by the time Blockbuster says, come bring it back, you know?
Yeah. I mean, at the time, video game developers were making games difficult on purpose so that you would either have to rent it multiple times or just surrender and purchase it. We were all victims of that day and age for sure.
Dude, what was it about Sears?
I was going to say, Sears is a little underrated as like this secret place you can go grab your games. Like while everyone's in line waiting at Electronic Boutique at the time, you know, I was avoiding all those suckers by going to Sears, picking up my Super Metroids and my Yoshi's Islands from the Sears right by the kids' clothes. Very discreet.
That's right. Yeah, it was a weird section. I remember that now, too.
I'm so glad. Sometimes I feel like it was a fever dream. Thank you so much.
Sears was real, you guys.
And then Donkey Kong Country, from the perspective of a Sega kid who played a lot of Sonic, that felt a little closer to what I recognized, right? It felt like the animation was a little slicker. Diddy Kong was kind of punk rock and cool like Sonic.
It had some attitude.
Yeah.
It had a little attitude, right? It did. It had a little something.
Bop and soundtrack. The water level music gets used in about every nostalgia video on TikTok and Instagram.
That song is nostalgia.
So what was after Super Nintendo for you?
So I didn't get another console until the PlayStation 2. So my experience with like N64 or any other consoles were just via friends. And we mostly just played like Mario Kart or Wave Race.
What else do you need?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really, the essentials.
Going from SNES to PlayStation 2, that's like leaping into the future. That was like watching The Matrix for the first time.
It was. I got Final Fantasy X and I saw cutscenes from Final Fantasy X. And I was like, what is this?
Final Fantasy X, speaking of, some great fashionable characters across that entire franchise. Do you have a best dressed from Final Fantasy X?
Ooh, I guess Lulu, because that crazy belt dress is just Tetsuya Nomura like personified. He's like, I'm just going to put all the belts on one character.
I hesitate to ever admit that I had a crush on a video game character, but if there was one, it might be Lulu. It might be Lulu. I think we got to dive in, Mandie, because we got to talk about your love for Overwatch how it all began and where it's taken you.
This is like my previous life. I was hosting a live video game discussion show. It was about that time that I think Orisa was released for Overwatch. I was very curious about the game, you know, because all the characters like looked super cool. And I love shooters. So it just kind of was like a natural like thing that I'm going to get into this game. And then kind of just got tunnel vision. And that's like the only game I played for like many years. I loved it. Kind of fell off when Overwatch 2 came out. But sure. I recently got back into it with that massive update where they released like 5 characters in one day. Here I am still now playing.
I am still in a group chat 10 years later or whatever. The name of that group chat has never been changed from Overwatch Community College. And it's just like where we all chatted about strategies and like meta. We don't talk about Overwatch anymore, but the name remains the same.
You can never change it.
Sounds like a very cool gig doing the Facebook live show. You know, you're like gamer at your core and you're putting the hours as well. As a business person myself, like I know how much work goes into owning your own business. Like where do you make the decision, I'm going to start a brick and mortar of all things, right? Or does it start brick and mortar right away? Was it online first? What's the story? How does that start?
Right. I feel like you kind of have to be a little bit of a crazy person to do this.
It definitely takes a little crazy for sure.
It was a lot of discussions on like, oh, should I do it now? I should wait till this happens. I should wait till that happens. And then finally, it was just like a conversation I had with my husband where it was just like, there's no really like perfect time to do anything in your life. So like you might as well just do it now. I'm not getting like younger, and the older I get, like the harder it's going to be to do these things. This was post-pandemic and I wasn't working. You know, I had savings. I was like, let's just try it, you know, and let's do it now and just kind of see what happens.
And it worked.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Cool.
It's working.
It's working.
It's working. It's not like gangbusters, but it's definitely like on the right trajectory, so to speak.
I think just getting to a few years is a huge win, right? Especially in a brick and mortar sense.
100%.
It's pretty sweet.
And that was like so much drama, and like been learning so much, you know, just about commercial real estate and just like dealing with all the kind of ups and downs of that too has been an adventure to say the least.
How do you decide how much of the business and the real estate to dedicate to fashion versus games?
I kind of have like a section for each kind of genre, I guess you want to say, in the store. So I try to have apparel from each, some figures from each, you know, pins or other things. And then it's kind of like sorted in the store. So if you're just into like, say, Nintendo, then just go to the Nintendo section. Or if you're just into Pokemon or Fallout or whatever it is, you kind of have a zone that like appeals to you.
I love the selection of clothing that I've seen. And you mentioned the pre-loved aspect of it. Something about that makes a shirt just like sit on you better, even a shirt that's like already been worn. Some of it's washed out. I don't know. It gives it a cool kind of vintage look that I personally am kind of looking for anyways. So I'm like a big fan of what you guys have to offer. My 10-year-old daughter just had a long talk with me yesterday while applying an ice pack to her ouchie. And she asked if frostbite can happen from an ice pack. I explained to her that the circumstances would have to be really severe, and no, it's not likely at all. I'm still struggling to understand how one gets frostbite playing DayZ. Wait, what are we talking about here, Mandie?
Oh, it's okay. You're going to bring this story up. Okay, so for those of you that are unfamiliar, DayZ is like this hyper realistic game where you are like dropped into a map with nothing. It's like, you know, a Fortnite, whatever, PUBG or something, you're dropped in, you have to find weapons and all this stuff. This is like you have to find any piece of food, you have to make a fire because you can get cold and like freeze to death, you have to find clothes. Like it's hyper realistic, and people are very good at this game. Over the pandemic, I played with a big squad of a group of friends. Your girl was not wearing gloves in the game and got frostbite.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, and I did not know that was a thing that could happen. You can't heal yourself from getting frostbite. I will eventually die in the game from it. So my friend was just like, we were in a building and he was just like, okay, kneel down. And I was like, what? And then he just shot my character and then proceeded to loot all my gear. And I was just like, all right. That's the way the cookie crumbles in this game.
Dog eat dog world out in DayZ, huh?
It is. It is.
It kind of sounds like you're describing OG Oregon Trail, like you got dysentery or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's go from a grim video game scenario to a very beautiful and hopeful and awesome video game scenario. Talk to us about what Final Fantasy has done for you and your real life relationships.
So I met my now husband playing Final Fantasy 11 21, 22 years ago. One of 2 games that supported the hard drive on the PS2. That and SOCOM, I think, was the other one. Final Fantasy 11 is an MMO. You're playing with other people. You're spending a lot of time with these people because the game is very difficult to do by yourself. But Square Enix offered like official in-game weddings. And you could apply to Square Enix to get married in the game to your partner. A few months like went by. We're just like, we're never going to get like approved or whatever. And sure enough, Square Enix was like, congrats, you got approved. An employee from Square comes in and is like your officiant, gives the bride like a wedding dress and then married us, in the game.
So you guys met in the game as 2 characters via
Correct.
like headset and the whole
just
deal.
chatting at first. We figured out that I worked at a GameStop store that was just a few blocks from where he worked. Off a whim, I was like, oh, you should come by my store sometime. Not thinking he would actually come to my store. And sure enough,
Rest is history.
And you guys don't know what each other looks like. It's kind of blind date. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'll have a copy of Game Informer and it's going to have a rose in it. And I'm the girl at that desk or whatever.
God,
Right? It's something like, I'm trying to imagine like.
Oh, no, it was not like romantic at all. My manager was like, there's this guy like lurking around in the Xbox section.
Sure.
He keeps like looking at you.
Would you,
Like, should I
do you want me to escort him out or?
I was imagining like You've Got Mail, but video games. You know what I mean?
It was not romantic.
You must remember, what was his username and what was yours at the time?
He was an elf Dark Knight named Ozaric, and I was a human female named Riven.
Long live Ozaric and Riven. Beautiful.
Yes.
Can we talk about how novel that time was? Remember when online gaming was uncharted territory? When you mentioned SOCOM, it was like revolutionary. What do you mean? I'm playing with my friends against other humans?
For sure. And this was also the time where it was like kind of taboo to meet people online because there was a good chance that he was not who he said he was. Online dating is everywhere now. And we have all these ways to chat with each other online. Like this did not exist, 20 years ago. It was like, we would kill time playing games on like Yahoo Games or like play Final Fantasy 11 together, call each other on our phones like after 9 p.m. because then it was free.
I'd have entire conversations like prior to smartphones. I would be laying in my bed with my headset on in the post-game lobby of Halo 2, just hanging with my buddies.
That's the best.
Yes, so cool.
Early Xbox Live, yeah.
Oh, what a time. What a time.
It was a time. Being a woman on the internet, on voice comms, on Xbox. It was just not a nice place. I'll just leave it at that.
I couldn't imagine. I am sorry. I apologize on behalf of all of us.
That was a big reason that I moved to being a PC gamer. Most people at the time that owned a PC were adults because it was very expensive.
Barrier to entry.
Exactly. The barrier to entry was much higher. So that was like the catalyst for becoming a PC gamer.
That's where you met your husband?
Yes.
So had
correct.
we not had this super toxic Xbox,
that's
space,
a really good point. He played on PS2 and I played on PC, which was like, that was crazy unheard of that we could play together.
Crossplay in 20, whatever.
Crossplay, yeah.
I don't think the word existed for it yet. That's crazy.
There's a lot of stuff about, just the fact that you were like talking to other real humans and casually saying you should come by my store is wild.
It was a very innocent time. It was a very innocent time.
Yeah.
It's very wholesome.
So what's your favorite part, would you say, about running Geeky Glamorous?
I would say just meeting like so many fun people. I just love like nerding out with people that come in the shop, hearing about what they're playing and them, introducing me to a title that I hadn't heard of or even thought about playing. I had a customer come in the other day and couldn't stop talking about the new Forza. And I've never picked up a Forza game in my life, but this guy like sold me on it. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to pick up Forza. This sounds so fun. I feel like a lot of people come into the store just to like talk. It's a beautiful thing. And we introduce each other to other games and yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Sure.
I live close to Highland Park and I have a spot here called Retro Butta that I pop into often.
Butta, that's good.
Yeah, Retro Butta. yeah, sure, I'm there to buy like a GameCube controller or something. But if I see someone wearing a certain kind of t-shirt, slide on over a little bit, like, hey, you go, cool shirt, and see what comes of it, you know? It's just nice to find your people and spark conversation. And
it just helps people know that they're going to be around like-minded others, right? So like same with the comic book store vibes. I remember being in my 20s and I would just so badly want to be friends with the guy that owned the comic book shop. This guy's name was Shane. Shout out Atomic Comics in Tacoma. And he was so nice to me, but I would hang out way too long. And I just wanted to have a conversation, talk and be friends and like just be part of the scene. I think a big part of that was that anyone who walked in there, we already had a ton in common. That's what you're creating a little bit, is a safe space for those people.
We even started a video game club at the store that's like a book club, but we play a game together.
Cool. Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
I love that. That should be a podcast.
We've talked about recording it. I haven't kind of figured it out yet.
Well, you're doing great, Mandie. This is a great start.
I mean, I would listen. What are the highlights? What are the best things that you guys have played? And
it's really interesting because, you know, sometimes the group can be split where we're like, we'll have half the group that's like, oh, I did not like this game. And then other people are like, this is my favorite game of all time. And then we get to have a conversation about it, which is cool. Super interesting. You can notice I have the Fallout New Vegas guide. We just actually finished this game for Game Club last month. It was like one of the highest rated games that we've played. I didn't finish it because I didn't want to rush through it. Anyway, it's very fun to go through these games with people. We play smaller indie titles up to, you know, like I said, like big name releases like Fallout. Undertale is our current game, so we're playing Undertale and we'll talk about it in August.
What are your thoughts on Undertale so far? I'm curious because that's one that I started and didn't quite finish just because as highly critically acclaimed as it was, it just didn't do a whole lot for me.
I'm still in like the beginning of the game. It's really not a game that I would ever pick up like on my own. It's just like not my thing, but I have to understand what people's obsession is with this game and the story. The people that love it so much. I want to understand and like have that conversation with people that do. So it's like motivating me to like continue.
Another one that we talked about this last episode, TDK, is The Outer Wilds is one people just say changed their life. What'd you think of that one?
I did not like that game.
Oh, wow. There you go. Yeah, it's so subjective.
It is not for me. And I appreciated it for what it was. A lot of people loved it, you know, swore by it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yes, for you. I love that for you, not for me. Yeah.
I don't suffer from that thing where I need to figure out why people love it. If it's not for me, I'm on to the next. Yeah. You got to find your games. You got to find your books, your people, all of it, right?
I also want to shout you out, Mandie, because during Evo weekend, it's Christmas for me. I'm like a big fighting game guy, right? I got my 2 monitors set up. I'm watching Tekken. I'm watching Street Fighter. I got my snacks, editing on my laptop. It's like crickets from most gaming accounts because it's very niche. But I saw you posted Happy Evo weekend, everyone. We've got some pins. We've got shirts. I'm like, yeah, let's go. There are dozens of us.
Yes. It's funny. I love so much of the fighting game art across just like all the different games and all the character art. And I've been obsessed with Cammy from Street Fighter since seeing her for the first time. We have artists in the store right now named Rake, who does a ton of artwork for Street Fighter and the fighting game community. Awesome. So it just made sense to have his work here during Evo and Anime Expo. And he does a lot of good Cammy art, which is how I discovered him.
I used to go to Evo myself. It was fun competing and making friends and meeting community. Just love that about Geeky Glamorous. It's another spot to go. And I plan to visit very soon because I'm serious.
Please do.
The drip. I love the t-shirts. I love what you guys got over there. Thank you so much for all you do, Mandie. TDK, anything you'd like to add to that?
You said something earlier. You said, I love stuff. And I really relate to that. I have so much stuff. I'm definitely going to stop by for some of the drip as well.
I want to mention too, in 2026, right, with all the hubbub going on about games and physical media and where things are going, it's nice that you provide a space of things that are tangible, that aren't video games, but that still exist in the gaming world. Stuff is awesome.
We say like wear your geek on your sleeve, like literally, like just embrace it, embrace your fandom and the things you're into. And a big piece in like the Pokemon community is like every single Pokemon is like someone's favorite. And so I always want someone to come in and like find their favorite, find their thing that's like really special to them, and more of those experiences.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it up. That's awesome.
Well, Mandie, it was so awesome having you on the podcast. Such a cool person. We love your vibe. We love your store. We love your backdrop. Aww. After this, we should definitely jump on Overwatch. I'm that jerk that runs DPS no matter what.
That's fine.
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. Shout yourself out. Oh. Where can we find you? Where is your store located? Social media, all the things.
My store's name is Geeky Glamorous. You can find us everywhere on social, all the channels at Geeky Glamorous. It is usually just me. I have like 1 or 2 other employees that help me out from time to time. But yeah, if you're talking to anyone in social, it's me. Come hang out with us in Sherman Oaks, California. We also ship to the US, so if you want to buy online too.
You heard her, Doppelgang. Make sure to check it out. I definitely will pull up. And thanks again for everything you do, for the community you foster. We can't wait to check it out ourselves.
Thanks, Mandie. I'm going to come by and get some stuff.
All right, Doppelgang. Thank you so much once again to Mandie. Thank you, TDK. We will see you all on the next one. Peace. Hey everybody, it's Ray here. Just wanted to thank you for tuning into the Dire Pass Level podcast. If you want to hang out and join us for the next episode, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you're notified when our next episode releases. If you really liked it, you'd do us a solid if you left us a review. Reviews are a great way to spread the word about our podcast, and the more gamers to share these stories with, the better. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. There we go.